So we have said that COP1 coated vesicles form on the surface of vesicular tubular cluster and Golgi apparatus, and they capture ER proteins and send them back to ER. Let's look at the mechanism of this. As soon vesicular tubular clusters form, they begin budding off the vesicles of their own. Unlike COP2 coated vesicles that bud off from ER, these vesicles are COP1 coated. They carry back ER resident proteins that have escaped, as well as proteins that participated in ER budding reaction and are being returned. This retrieval process demonstrates the exquisite control mechanism that regulates coat assembly. The COP1 coat assembly begins only seconds after the COP2 coats have been shed. The vesicular tubular cluster continuously mature, gradually changing its composition as selected proteins are returned back to the ER. The retrieval process continues all the way from even to Golgi apparatus. After the vesicular tubular clusters have delivered their cargo, resident ER membrane proteins, for example, contain signals that bind directly to COP1 coats and are thus packaged into COP1 coated transport vesicles for retrograde delivery to endoplasmic reticulum. These sequences are basically, special sequences are, at the extreme C terminus, there are two lysines followed by any other two amino acids. So these are transmembrane proteins we are talking about. These transmembrane proteins have on their very extreme C terminus two lysine amino acids followed by any two other amino acids. This basically is called KXX. K is the symbol for lysine, XX basically any other two amino acids. Soluble ER resident proteins, for example, there's a protein called BIP, also contains a short retrieval signal at its C terminus, but this is different. It consists of lysine, asparagine, glutamine, and leucine, and or signal similar to this. This signal is basically abbreviated as KDEL, relating to the amino acids that I have just mentioned. So the membrane proteins at the C terminus, extreme C terminus, have KXS sequence, and the soluble proteins have KDEL sequence at their C terminus. If the signal is transferred to a protein which is normally secreted, the protein now will efficiently be retained in the ER where it accumulates. So basically this is the sequence which determines whether a protein is going to go to the ER, to the Golgi apparatus and onward, or whether it will stay in the ER. ER resident proteins bind to specialized receptors such as KDEL receptor, which is a multi-pass membrane protein that binds to KDEL sequence and packages any proteins displaying that sequence into COP1 coated vesicles for retrograde transport. ER resident proteins can also bind each other, and they can form larger, more complex structures which cannot be enclosed in the vesicle. So this is one way these proteins avoid being captured into a vesicle. This is basically referred to as skin recognition. So here I would like to show you this diagram. Here you can see these proteins, these receptor proteins that can bind the KDEL sequence on the surface of proteins which are ER resident. This receptor, once it binds this KDEL sequence and of course the whole protein, there will be a conformational change in the cytoplasmic domain of this receptor, which will be recognized by COP1 coats, and they will start to assemble on specific region of, for example, Golgi apparatus, if that is what we are talking about, and they will result in formation of this vesicle which will bud off and it will go back to the endoplasmic reticulum. So here's the dilemma. So in vesicular tubular cluster or Golgi stacks, these proteins, these receptor proteins, have to bind proteins which have KDEL sequence. Here you can see that. But once they fuse with the endoplasmic reticulum, they should release these proteins so that these proteins can perform their normal functions. So how do these receptors bind the same protein in one cellular compartment and they release the same protein in a different cellular compartment? The answer is actually the pH. In the ER, the pH is more of a neutral pH, whereas once we start moving from ER to vesicular tubular cluster or the Golgi, the pH becomes acidic. In acidic pH, these receptors can bind proteins which are displaying K-del sequence. However, once these vesicles fuse with the ER, there the pH is more of a neutral pH. These receptors can no longer bind these proteins, K-del sequence proteins, and these are released in the lumen of ER. So here basically this process keeps on repeating. For example, here you can see that there's proteins. The yellow square is basically a protein that needs to be secreted. COP2 coated vesicles will have some two coated vesicles will have this yellow square protein, the secreted protein, and also it will by mistake can also capture a protein, this red protein, which has a K-del sequence, the ER resident protein. By mistake it has been captured. So as you can see, we have abundance of these red guys in the ER, whereas in vesicular tubular cluster there are fewer of those. And as we continue moving from cis-Golgi network to trans-Golgi network, the concentration of the yellow squares keeps on increasing and the red proteins keeps on decreasing. Especially in trans-Golgi network, it's pretty much all Golgi proteins or the proteins that have to be secreted. All the ER proteins have been collected and returned to ER through different subsequent steps. So once the vesicular tubular cluster has formed, the protein retrieval process starts and it continues all the way till the trans-Golgi stack. So the ER resident proteins keep on being sent to the endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi apparatus keeps on becoming enriched with specific proteins which are for use in Golgi apparatus, or they have to be secreted, or they have to go on an onward destination.